I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people with birthdays around this time of the year, so I thought I'd just share with you a quick little DIY for a tortoiseshell candle votive that also makes a great gift. For this craft, all you need is a glass votive or jar, 2 alcohol inks or glass paints in brown and black, and isopropyl alcohol for cleanup. I used Jacquard Pinata inks in Burro Brown and Mantilla Black. I've never used these inks before, so I did some tests on a jar. At first I tried using paintbrushes and it looked terrible, all streaky and patchy. So then I tried dripping it on with wet into wet, but I found that the spots spread too much. Finally, I got the best results by letting the brown layer dry and then dripping on the black spots. So to begin, you need to wipe your glass with the isopropyl alcohol to remove any dirt or grease. Next, drip on the brown ink, covering the surface as quickly as possible as it dries fast. This can get messy, so you might want to wear gloves and definitely protect the surface you're working on. It's much easier to work with a votive that's smaller than this one if you want to start with something simple. Remember that it's okay if you have some streaks or mottled areas because real tortoiseshell isn't perfect either. Whenever you're making something that is inspired by nature, it looks much more convincing if it has flaws, so don't aim for symmetry here. If you really don't like what you've done, you can always wipe the ink off with the isopropyl alcohol and start again. Once you've covered the whole surface, let the votive dry for at least an hour. Now we're going to use the black ink to add the spots. It's a lot easier to work on a rounded surface like this if you cradle the glass in a rag or something else you don't mind getting ink on. I'm going to start dripping little ovals down the center, remembering that gravity will play its part here. Ideally, your votive should be at just a slight incline. Tortoiseshell pattern typically has an overall direction to the spots, so I'm going to make most of them tilt in the same general direction. To make sure you don't smudge your work, it's best to make one column at a time and then wait for it to dry to the touch before rotating the glass and filling in the next section. Just make sure the spots on the back are totally dry before resting them against your rag if you're using one. These squeeze bottles aren't very precise, so you may want to practice ahead of time to get the feel of them. A little goes a long way with these inks. When you're done, put the votive right side up to dry completely. You can find links to the paints I used in the description. Let me know if you're going to try this one out in the comments. Until next time, keep in touch and happy crafting.